Alright, I got that cylinder in, got my head gasket on there. I sprayed it with that copper stuff. I always use that copper spray, it works great. Alright, it's coming along pretty good. I got the head on, torqued down, got the lines right there lined up with this, flush with that, and then the little arrow is pointing up, so that side's all timed in. Well, it was going great, and then I realized I messed up and had to take everything back apart, the head off, everything, because I put the wrong jug on that side. I put the front jug on the back. So I went to put my tensioner in, one of my tensioners, and there wasn't a hole there. Well, now there is. That hole right there where it bolts into, well, I went to the back of it earlier and realized that that's just a blank hole right there. So okay, 6 billion hours later, and I got this side installed correctly. So now I'm moving on to the front cylinder. I got my base gasket on. This one's a little bit easier because you can reach in the back here and put the chain back on the sprocket if you need to. Alright, I got the things spun around here. Keyways lined up with that little groove there, and the better way to see that's lined up is that little thing right there. Little dimple is lined up with that arrow. So now I can put the jug in. Should be easy now that I got just one of everything. Won't screw up like I did this side. Already got the head gasket over there sprayed. Alright, this head's all complete, all put together. I need to adjust the valves next, I think. Alright, I got my little position plate here in the mail. It came a lot earlier than I expected. I just looked at there, and it came from Nebraska, so it wasn't really that far away. That little guy goes right there, so now I can put that in there. Picked up the missing screws for that as well. Alright, there's a little plate in there. Put some Loctite on the bolts. You definitely don't want those backing off and coming out in here. It'd be bad news. Getting the engine lowered down in there, just use a couple ratchet straps. Gotta make sure none of these wires get pinched. Alright, I got the solenoid all hooked up. Mounted it right down in that plastic box thing where the ECU thing is. And it turns over. Well, it did turn over. Okay, a couple months later I took a break from this thing. It wasn't working correctly and I needed to take a break from it and work on the 57. I got it back in here, finally figured out what's wrong with it, or what was wrong with it. I got it all fixed and back together now. The secondary pulley on the torque converter was actually seized. I took it off and it wasn't opening, so I just soaked it in PB Blaster on the workbench for a while and got it freed up. Not sure why that happened, probably just from sitting around outside for a while. It just kind of got locked into place. So I got it all back together and now it works. It works the way it's supposed to. I think the belt still slips a little bit. It might be a little worn, but it works. So good enough. And it's all back together. As you can see, I got all the plastics zip tied and screwed back on. A lot of broken stuff on this, like to get the plastic back together, but I got it all zip tied together and it works. So I'm gonna go take it for a spin. It's super loud because straight pipes. That was a whole separate problem I don't think I talked about on this video. The muffler was actually clogged up, so I had to take it off. It wasn't running right at all. It was actually running on one cylinder. So I straight piped it. It runs a lot better. It's just super loud. I didn't want to spend $300 on a new muffler. Maybe someday it'll get a new muffler, but for now, I'm just going to run it straight piped. And I'll show you guys what it can do now. with 4-wheel drive. I'm not gonna try it actually. Oh, already stuck. Gotta keep the way more fun in 2-wheel drive. Just gotta keep the tire speed going. Alright guys, this is going to be the end of this video. I started off with a pile of parts I hadn't taken apart. I didn't know where anything went. I didn't know anything about it. And ended up with something that actually runs and drives. Although it needs some tinkering. I'm going to conclude the video here. I don't want to make it too long, too boring. It's already been boring enough really. So that's the end of this video. If you found this interesting at all and want to check out some of my other projects I've been working on, hit subscribe, follow along, and you know, hit that little notification bell thingy if you want to stay up to date on everything. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.